Hey there, Scorpio. This is Chronic Joy Tarot. We are going to do your current soul guidance reading here for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And also, like I always like to say, any soul that is guided or inspired to watch and listen to this video, then this message is also for you. If you're new to my channel, thank you for being here. I've been off and on lately, very busy. You know, the tax season here in the States is kind of my busiest season, and for my day job. And then I also got sick when it was all over, so it's been kind of a challenge this past few months for me. But here we are doing your current reading now. The oracle deck that I'm using, oh, and if you are not new to my channel, thank you for being here again. Okay, it's always great to be here with this community. We're going to use the tree spread today using the Zen Tarot deck, and then our oracle card for guidance or sort of a guidance on our topic or theme is coming from the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle deck. Okay, it's a beautiful deck. I'm not sure if any of you work with crystals, but just pulling the energy of each of these cards, it sparks, you know, the direction for each reading. Okay, and for you, Scorpio, I pulled Citrine. This is like abundance, joy, creativity, playfulness. This card, it's a cleansing card. It cleanses your energy and keeps it fresh. It allows you to sort of interact creatively with the world outside. If you feel like you've been grounded a little too much or withdrawn or worried too much about earthly matters, you know, processes, schedules, finances, home, that kind of, it's time to sort of break out and clear your spirit and have some fun. You know, take time out for some joy and let the abundance come to you once you've done this clearing. Okay, we're going to see what the Zen Tarot cards tell us as far as the process toward this joy. We're going to use the tree spread. This is the first branch. This is kind of where we stand now. We want to move to the higher energies, and in order to do so, we must go through this trump card here. This is a spread I made up, so just go with it, okay? Follow along with me, is what I meant. Left side cards are internal energies and right are external, how they show up in your daily life. This is your starting point here, Scorpio, as it relates to cleansing your spirit and activating your creativity and joy, okay? Ooh, we got a heavy mind card here. That's your starting point. So that's what we just said. If you've been tied down or sort of slowed down by some of those earthly matters, the right and the wrong, the good and the bad, you know, taking care of others and making sure my finances are in line and all those kind of necessary, but sometimes energies that give us a stuck feeling sometimes. This is time to learn to ease some of the edges, the hard edges around that energy. This morality card is pretty black. It's black and white, right and wrong, good or bad, up and down. You know, it's very, there's no room for gray area here. It's just boom, hard-edged, realistic, which, like I said, is not always a bad thing. But right now it's time to sort of unlock that, soften those hard edges, and get ready to release your joy and welcome in creativity and abundance. Okay, so how do we navigate that, right? Internally, this card is your internal energy that sort of acknowledges or supports this energy, this grounded, almost at this point stuck feeling of energy. And that internal awareness is the card of courage. Perfect. Because just like I said, we want to soften those hardened edges, right? We want to make room for the joy to come in or the joy to flow out from you. Same thing with this card. Same thing with that little seedling that lives way deep inside those boulders and that has a hard shell. That little seedling is perfectly content, stuck way down there in the dark with its hard protective shell, happy as ever, has no idea what it can become until a little bit of water drops in there and a little bit of sunlight shines through. The edges of that shell start to soften a little bit, and boom, here comes the sprout, and then boom, here comes the flower, and it has the ability to become what it never thought it could become, right? And I think within you, that's kind of stirring. I think you get that within you. Yeah, I'm in my day-to-day world. I have to go to work every day. I have to work hard. I have to, and yeah, we do, we're right. That's part of our human experience. However, inside you, you're getting that, okay, I got to make a move here. I'm going to change this up a little bit because something is waiting within me to be released. Something's there. And according to the CITRINE card, yeah, something's definitely there. You're ready to expand into joyful awareness. You're ready. Not that you haven't ever before, right? But this is a phase where you're ready to let that release again, okay? In your day-to-day world, in your external life, you get this fully because you're ending a phase. You're closing out maybe a phase of hard work. Maybe you finished a project at work. Maybe you have children and you're at a place where maybe the difficult age of toddlerhood is kind of over and you're kind of riding easy now. You can let go of that driven, hard-edged way. You can let go of it now because it's done. It's completed. So something in your life has completed. Some aspect of your soul, maybe even, has completed and is finishing up and is ready and setting the table for this beautiful expansiveness to come forth. Your creativity is really waiting to be tapped into. And abundance will flow to you as long as we can get that balance back, right? The trunk card here, this is going to be the key to moving forward to your next levels of awareness. And that is this card of understanding. This is a card of emotion and an awareness and an acknowledgement that there's really nothing blocking you. So in this card specifically, you have the dove, the one dove here, who's kind of feeling separated from the others. And you could take this card as my present and my past, my present and my future, myself and my group of friends, me and my family, my partner, whatever. You could take it, there is a separation, a sense of separateness, right? There's a block. But if you look closer, those bars that are separating them, they're an illusion. They're melting away. And this is what you're starting, and it's also a card, excuse me, I'm stumbling over my words. I'm getting excited. The energies, the intuition's just coming right to me, and I can't wait to tell you. So I'm stumbling. This is a card of emotion as well. So perhaps you've been holding this bar here could be the barrier between you and you, right? Your internal feeling, creative, joyful, spirit-driven self and this practical, day-to-day, work hard self, persona, right? So there could be a dissolution of that barrier between your internal and your external, which is, an even better sign for what we're trying to achieve here with this reading, or for what this guidance is actually bringing us. So moving forward then, let me recap here. You may or may not, and if for some of you, if this isn't really clicking, then move on to another reading, it's okay. But I'm going to say that at any given time, we are in this, as humans. We all have our periods where this is our reality. We're driving too hard. I mean, just look at me. I was going for 3 or 4 months during tax season, and then I stopped. And then my body got sick, but now I'm ready to start other things. I have some side creative projects, and I'm back doing the readings, right? Again, here I am, bringing that creative side out, and my sense of intuition is coming back to the forefront. So at any given time, we all find ourselves here, where the practicalities are a necessity to achieve, but then we get kind of stuck there, and we want to shift gears again, right? Tap deep within and let things out. Let the emotions come out and take more precedence over the logic and the thoughts and the brain work, right? Or, like it's perfect. The perfect example is my work, because my day gig is bookkeeping and tax prep, and that is just not a very creative. I try to bring creativity into it, but it's not a very creative occupation. But then there's this, and there's the readings that I do and the intuition that I can tap into, and that really helps to balance it out for me. So for any of you, there's that duality going on. And what we're finding in this reading is that for you at this time, Scorpio, it's time to sort of close out that you've done your hard work. It's time to sort of put that to rest now, and let's move on to the next. Or like I said, if it's a phase where you were going through some difficulties with your partner, and things were hard-edged and they were more difficult to navigate, well, you have that courage within to reach for the light, and you know you can end that and create, a new sense of understanding, break down those barriers, or let those barriers actually dissolve away, and then find creative and joyful ways to move forward. Okay? Things don't really ever stay the same. Everything we go through is temporary. And in this reading here, we're just talking about you're right on the crux of that. You're right at that turning point where it's time to let the old fall away and move on to the new, next phase, right? Okay, so your next level here, and yeah, you've got such support for that. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so your next, first of all, I just said, right? Let the old stuff fall away. Did I just say that, or was I thinking it? I'm sorry. Being sick has my brain a little mixed up, but both of these cards are asking you to shed the old. They both are. Internally and in your real world. Shed the old. Not push it away, not drop it, not cut it off, but allow it to fall away. Allow it to drop. Allow it to leave your experience for now. Okay? Because now it's time for joy. Now it's time to create, and now it's time to allow abundance in. So those old energies that were holding you down and keeping you stuck, and maybe having you feeling a little too rigid, it's time to go ahead and let them go. Let the new surge of energy that's coming through you, that joyful, creative spark that wants to come forth, let that come and kind of let these things, push these aside, sort of let these harder energies fall away. Internally, there's big shifts happening within you. It also goes along with this courage card, breaking through that boulder, breaking through the hard-shelled barrier that you find yourself caught in. Break through it, let it fall away. This is really a big, big inner shift going on with you. And then in your outer world, it's creating new phases. It's closing out old ones, letting other things drop away. And then centered in all of this, and this is my favorite card of your reading, is your wisdom. The maturity card. This is sort of, these rainbow cards are, in the Zen deck, they represent sort of that material world, earthly knowing, almost, the reality of what is or whatever. And for you, you can sit right in the center of all of it and just know that you're good. There's a knowing. It's different than hoping, right? It's different than hoping things will work out. It's different than wishing things were different. This is what you've gained over time, Scorpio. And through these processes down here of letting phases complete when they're complete and ready and being open to the next one, you, instead of wishing or hoping that things will get better, You just know they will. You know it. Through your experience, through your, the maturity, your emotional maturity, your spiritual maturity, your wisdom is, that's your power. That's your power right now. I love how this figure can rest so easily right in the middle, and there's beauty all around. And yeah, there might be thunderstorms at the edges of that card and maybe some darkness. See around the edge of that circle, there's some darkness and barren trees, but not for you, because you already know your blooms are coming. You're blossoming into your next phase. The abundance is there. It's not just on its way to you, it's there. Okay? Beautiful. That's my favorite card in this whole reading, because you have, destruction, shedding away, letting go, holding on to, the practical matters, and then trying to find a way to dissolve some of that harder edge. But in the middle of it all, you realize that is the process. Some of that hard edge stuff and some of that, trudging sort of workhorse attitude has to be there. It has to be there in our lives. And so does the creativity. So does the joy. So does the abundance. And you get this. You get this very deeply, Scorpio. And your ability now, with all that you've learned, to allow these things to come and go, allow the phases to begin and complete, allow your intuition to guide you. In this completion card, one of my favorite things is that final puzzle piece, the end of the road there, is the third eye, because your intuition will always guide you through. You just know this. And also, that little daisy is right on the third eye too, or actually kind of the crown of that figure. So this is your journey. It is time now, as you've always known, to make the shift. Open up your heart space, open up your creativity and your ability to allow abundance in. It's time. You've done the work. Now it's time to rest. Okay, and look at that. The outcome and the insight into this reading are represented by the top cards. And you have another card of transformation. Definitely time to shift gears here. Definitely time to shed away the old and just become more and more of your joyful self. And then what you'll find through this transformation and through this closing of the old phases and allowing the next steps in and making time for some fun, right? Make some time for fun. You will get more and more and more joy out of regular old life, right? Day to day. Taking a walk, in nature. Just hanging out and kind of sitting around and doing nothing sometimes. You'll find joy while you're sitting doing the dishes, because you're getting through this wisdom that you've gathered that is what life is. All of those little moments, I work hard and then I can rest and then I can play hard, right? That's kind of the cycle. And right now you're at the point where you're ready to play hard. And that's what this is. And this true transformation, this transformation card I'm feeling means more than just moving through these cycles. And no, you're moving through the cycles, but you're also spiraling up. You're going through the same maybe ins and outs of work and play, but you're also up leveling the whole way. So it's almost like a cone and a spiral at the same time. And you're definitely ascending to your newer level of awareness. And remember, you have that card of wisdom right smack in the middle of your experience that just you really just know intrinsically that you have nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about, because the next phase will come. You'll work really hard and you'll get into practical matters and you'll, kick ass and take names and take care of all the people around you. And then you'll have time for play again. And you get that. And as you're growing spiritually within and really being able to reach up and out and then share this knowledge with others, that's where even more fulfillment in your life keeps showing up. And that's what the abundance of life is. That's the entire citrine card, is that abundance, that energy cleanse to bring in the new, right? Oh, I love this reading for you guys. This is a good one. Okay, Scorpio, I hope that this is tapping into something for some of you. If it's not, like I always say, you can check other videos, check your moon or rising sign, or whatever appeals to you. Just open it up and listen, okay? But this is a special one for some of you, for sure, okay? All right. I love you all very much, and I will talk to you very soon. Okay.